Tell me about the time you were stopped and frisked.
Well, I was in high school. It was my last year. I was a senior, and I was doing a College Now program. And the topic that we were supposed to present that day, which I was in a way on time until I got stopped and frisked, but the topic was about how the ratio and the percentages of Hispanics and Black going to college, how, different demographics of different places is different ranges of different, ethnicity, cultures, that all ties into, where we go from high school, what is the percentages of going into college. And I was going to do my presentation, and I'm on the train, and a guy literally pulled me off, the police officer pulled me off, and he said because of suspicion that I had a knife. Now I'm looking at, my clothing, I'm like, where in the world does he see this object that he claims that I have? So I basically complied, but it was in a way, it was non-verbal, because I didn't know if I can say anything, if that was against the law. I didn't know that it was something that I had a power to. So he basically pulled me to the side, took me off the train, made a scene, and literally just like told me, the regular procedures, put my hands on a wall, he frisked me, and then at the end of the day, there was nothing there. There was no object of what he claimed that I had. And the worst part is that he was going through my book bag, and he's like shuffling through all the papers that I had. So when I get out of the train station and I'm going to my class at NYU, I was late for class. My presentation was a complete mess and disarray because all the paperwork that I had in order, he took them out of my book bag and just put them anywhere. So I actually got a less of a grade than what I was going to do because of my organization.
How does it feel to be stopped and frisked?
It feels overwhelming and overpowering. In a way, it's like being belittled in front of everyone, because I understand his position as being a police officer, and I felt like I had no power whatsoever to tell him my side of the story or why he could be wrong, because I felt that could have been used against me in a way of more of a reason why he should stop and frisk me.
Are you against stop and frisk? Why or why not?
I'm against it because it's also very cultural selective, in a sense that whatever suspicion that they have towards a culture or reputation, or even just the stigma of what type of culture, the stigma that any culture has, that it's being very specific to that one culture in a way that's being biased. Instead of looking at everyone as a suspect, it's in a way being very general to very specific cultures.
Finally, if you had known your rights, how do you suppose the outcome of the situation would have differed?
I think it would have been at least a little bit more empowering, because I feel that if I would have knew, I know that they have to present themselves who they are and what is the object or the suspicion that he has, I feel like I would have been more empowered. I would have been less afraid and intimidated to speak up, because I would have knew my rights. So I feel that the outcome, even though it still would have been the same, I still would have got stopped and frisked, but I would have felt that it was more of a compliance rather than him enforcing the law or enforcing his hierarchy upon me.